Tell me about your pregnancy.
Was it unusually stressful?
Oh my God!
I know you're the West Side Ripper.
What if we make a podcast about this together?
I'm in.
I'm so excited to talk with you about season 2. I watched all of it the other day and I was just so hooked from start to finish. It's somehow even funnier, even more intense than season 1. I'd love to hear, one of Nathan's big things I feel like across both seasons is he's a bit of a misanthrope in how he's always kind of down, but yet there's still something really endearing about him. What is it like really finding that balance in the performance?
Yeah, that's a fun part of the character, his constant need to be somebody, and his struggle to kind of, make friends with what is. And that dichotomy ends up at times, I think, to be funny and hopefully maybe even heartbreaking. In a way, it's I can relate, not in the sports aspect, but in the acting aspect and the struggles of kind of, maintaining a career and, dreaming about what you thought it was going to be and what it is, and kind of, again, making friends with that, making peace with that. So it's a fun character to play.
It's a fun character to watch, but especially as things get chaotic as we see this season. And one of the areas of that is yours and Matt's relationship as the show goes on, as he really starts to sort of goad you towards the darker side. And I'd love to hear why you think it is that Nathan is a little more vulnerable to Matt's manipulations than maybe even Ava is.
Well, I love Tom Bateman, and it's great to act with him. And I loved what they gave us this season. In a way, obviously it is the darker side, what he's, but in a way it's kind of what Nathan needs most. It's like diving into some more, animal quality, back to the fighter. And I think he probably falls into it. I think in a way, Ava's a much stronger character. She also isn't thrilled with where she is in her life, but I think has more coping mechanisms, and Nathan is just completely living in the past. So I think it leaves him very vulnerable to what Matt's selling. But I love that aspect of the season. Matt's kind of like a muse to Nathan. He because of him, he starts to, see gains in tennis and, a trip back to his old self.
It's really interesting the way that evolves, especially as we get to that finale, which I'm not going to talk about because I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but there's some really exciting stuff on that front. And I'd love to hear then about Ava and Nathan becoming parents this season. Obviously, much of season 1 was building towards that, but what was it like actually getting to then play, the baby's now there and play that side of the parenting?
I loved having the baby because it just amped up the stakes more for the couple. By the way, we had the best babies. I've worked with a lot of babies, and the babies we had were so beautiful and sweet. And, often you have to stop because they're crying or fussy, and all these babies were so calm. Kaylee has a very beautiful touch with the kids. So when they did start the fuss, she would grab them and kind of, cuddle them or rock them, and they would just cool out. But having the baby, I think, was a great, a great add to the confusion. And also in terms of my character wanting to be a better man, wanting to be successful for my kid, it kind of highlighted even more what I wasn't.
Yeah, it becomes really powerful, and I think back to that the tennis court scene where Kaylee has to bring you in. That's such a powerful one, and I'd love to hear about performing that scene in particular, where Ava really breaks through that rage that he's seeing and is able to bring him back down.
That was a fun scene to do. I kept sending our showrunner Annie all these clips of McEnroe and different tennis players having fits, and I really, really wanted to have a fit on the court. I thought it would be right for the character, and so I was happy that she gave that to me. Yeah, that we did a lot of different versions of that. I haven't seen it, but I'm not sure what they used, but there was a great direction there about kind of Ava snapping him out of it, and almost him coming to, like almost that he was in a total panic, almost a panic attack, and that the director wanted me to all of a sudden look into Kaylee's eyes and like I was waking up from this other side of myself. I don't know if they used that or not, but I thought it was a great direction. Yeah, it's funny. This show's difficult in that it lands or tries to land these moments full of heart, but then it's completely absurd, slapstick, and then you have people dying. So it's must be a difficult show to write. It's certainly a difficult one to act, because it's a fine line of being not funny at all or too pushed and absurd and not landing the heart. So I hope an audience kind of receives all of that.
I think they definitely will, and I think it sounds like the direction that she gave you is the one that ended in the episode, because that's what I felt in that scene.
Okay.
And I can't wait for people to really see it. I see I got to wrap up already, though, so I'll get on out of here. But Chris, thank you so much for taking the time. Truly love chatting with you and chatting about this show.
Great to talk with you, man. I appreciate it. Just kicked some ass at the gym.
I think we should go to a sex party.
Holy shit, it worked.